sick about not playing this past Sunday. Really was anticipating that game. Our players were too. Um, we felt good about where we're at as a team, and so real sad that we couldn't play. But this is a unique year, and we understand that. Just trying to be prepared for whomever we have to play next. We don't know. We're thinking it's Arkansas, but we'll just have to wait and see with the snowstorm and everything.
David, want to start us off?
Hey, Coach, with this weather that we're experiencing right now, how's that affecting y'all's time getting in the gym and practicing?
Well, today will be our first day. We weren't able to go yesterday. The facilities were closed, and then Sunday when the game got canceled and the snow started, we didn't. So it's 2 days off. It hadn't really affected us. Obviously, like I said, we wanted to play on Sunday. We weren't able to. So we had 2 days. So we're treating it as if it's a bye week, and we're going to hit it pretty hard today because we don't know if we'll be able to get back on the floor tomorrow. We're not sure.
Assuming that you are able to get out and go to Fayetteville and play Arkansas on Thursday night, I mean, I know every game's a big game, but y'all have got some momentum right now. You alluded to y'all have got some ambitions of trying to make the NCAA tournament. How big is this game for your team?
These next 5 games are all huge. We're paying attention. We see bracketology has us as the last 4 out. We have more than great opportunities. The next 5 games, 3 of them are ranked. We're given top 16 seeds for the NCAA tournament. So any win against any of those would be huge. We feel like, but the only thing we can focus on is the next opportunity. So if it's Arkansas, then we have to tackle Arkansas. We don't have a game left because of how we started the conference. We don't have a game where we can just sit back. Every game for us will be a big game.
Do you feel like the Mississippi State game will be made up?
I hope so. I hope so for a lot of. For the tradition. And then, mainly for that, for the tradition. So, and obviously we would love to play them, but I really do. I really hope we can get that game in. So maybe next Tuesday. I know that they were willing to play a Tuesday game, so we may pick a game up. But I tell you this, whenever we play them, we'll be ready.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Nick?
Coach, is there a hard deadline that you have to decide if you can make the trip to Fayetteville or not?
Well, that's what I'm asking my administration, because for me, it's tough. As a staff, we just had a staff meeting and we were talking about, who we're going to play, but we don't know. So you know what? We're just not even going to worry about that. We're just going to focus on us and what we have to do. And if it's us going to Fayetteville tomorrow, then we'll be ready. If not, and we're here, then we'll go ahead and pick our players up in the snow again and try to see if we can get another practice in until we're ready to play somebody. But we'd like to play. We're in a groove right now. We feel really good about ourselves, but I'm not going to look at it as, oh man, this is slowing us down. I'm going to look at it as this is giving us an opportunity to rest so that we can be ready to go.
Is Fayetteville normally a flight trip for y'all, or is it a bus trip?
Yeah, no, it's flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt?
Hey, Coach. Matt Dowell from Watch Fox in Columbia, South Carolina. I know that one of the big topics this year is the number of Black women head coaches in the SEC this season and how that number continues to grow. And I wanted to ask you about Dawn Staley, who's such a huge figure here in Columbia. How much of her success, not only from a winning perspective, but also from a business perspective of putting fans in the seats, how much has that had an impact on more Black women getting opportunities as head coaches in the SEC and around the country?
No, I think anybody who doesn't give, Dawn credit for the advancement of Black women in the coaching profession is just not being fair. She is obviously a mentor of mine. That's funny. I just spoke with her 5 minutes ago. Um, her success has made other ADs take a look at Black female coaches and given us the opportunity. Now it's our job to follow suit. And if you look at the teams out of the 5 SEC teams that are in the top 16, 3 of them are by women of color coaches. So clearly we can do it. And so she's impacted not only the SEC, but women's basketball incredibly, and yes, she has done it for women of color coaches, but she's also showed that, you can go outside the coaching tree per se and get someone that has passion and hunger and a little sassiness to themselves to be stubborn enough to think that they can get it done wherever they are.
Parrish?
Hey, Yolette, what's helped you guys close games better the last couple of times out?
Well, Parrish, I don't know. No, we've been focusing on limiting live ball turn. What's helped us close games out is that we're managing the middle part of the game differently. And so, yes, we've had a lead, and both times Kentucky and Alabama fought back, but we expected them. The basketball is a game of runs, but we did enough in the middle part of the game in the third quarter to give us a chance to still maintain. When we played the LSUs, Floridas, we lost the third quarter every time, and that just put us behind. So we've been trying to win the third quarter. We've been trying to keep people off the foul line. Teams usually just scrap their offense, put their head down and drive on us because we're so aggressive. So we've really been focusing on not fouling for no reason. And then as far as offensively, we've been focusing on limiting live ball turnovers. Versus Alabama, we had 6 turnovers total. But in contrast, we played LSU and we had 28. So it's like night and day, and I think that's made the difference. And Kentucky, I think we only had 12 turnovers, so that's been huge for us, and that's because Kira is trusting her teammates more and not trying to do everything by herself. And our point guard play has improved a lot, where they're protecting the ball more.
Where else would you like to see your girls get better?
Just keeping people off the free throw line. Keeping people off the free throw line. That's something that's the last part of our defensive effort. And then our bench production, really getting that 5th guard. We're trying to find that 5th guard who wants to come in and give us something as far as productivity is concerned, whether it's Taya, Taylor, JB, we are in desperate need of that. I'd also like to see us hit a couple more threes. I think we could be real dangerous if we get back to our 3-point. Right now, Snutter is the only one that is hitting threes for us. But if we can get our shooters to knock down some shots, I think we can be pretty dangerous. Because we're scoring 70-something points, and majority of that is from twos.
John?
How would you kind of assess what you've seen from Maddie these last couple of games? What do you kind of want to see from her? And
Yeah. Maddie is an interesting person because we call it a franchise player. She's going to be a 4-year player for us. We really worked hard to get Maddie here. We really believe and have invested in her tremendously. But Maddie's not even close to her full potential, even as a freshman. And that may sound wild with, what she's been doing as far as freshman of the week and stuff is concerned. But when we see, 11 points, 10 rebounds from Maddie, we really feel like it should be 16 and 12, So just getting her to be more aggressive offensively, wanting to be involved, not thinking she's in the way, but she is a part of the way. Just really trying to get her to embrace her role as being a part of the big three. That's what we're looking for her to get.
David?
John kind of asked my question about Maddie, but to take it a step further, Coach, talk about her intensity. I mean, it shows on her face and in her body language. She kind of has the persona of a linebacker out there on the basketball court emotionally. How do you harness that? How do you deal with it? Is it a good thing, a not so good thing? How do you categorize that?
It's a great thing. We love how passionate Maddie is about the game. That's what you're seeing. I know sometimes when people see me, it's misinterpreted as being emotional. I'm just really passionate, and that's Maddie. She loves playing. She recognizes the moment. Every time she steps on the floor, she understands why she came here. And it goes back to what I was saying about the pressure my kids were feeling. They came here to turn things around. They did not come here to continue to be the doormat of the SEC. Why would they? They could have gone places where they were already ranked and having success. So they came here to change that. And so Maddie feels that pressure. And when you see her play and show the passion that she's showing, it's more so like just her competitive nature. She's one of the most competitive players that we've had here thus far, but we're trying to get her to be competitive in everything, like she's competitive at certain things, and we want Maddie to be competitive all the time. And so when we recruited her, we talked to Maddie about trying to make all freshman team. And we talked to Snuda about that. And we talked to all our freshmen about it. But the fact that she has a chance to get freshman of the year, it shows how hard she works. And we're just going to keep pushing her. The kid is going to be an all-time great here at Ole Miss. Really, we really hit a home run when we got Maddie. Really.
You talk about recruiting her. There were a lot of people that thought that was the longest of shots that you were going to get McDonald's All-American from the DC area to come to Mississippi and to come to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
How'd you get her here?
Took a lot of work. We thought it was a long shot too. On the recruiting board, I remember, it's funny you said, we were just as a staff laughing about it because I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to put this kid on the board, Madison Scott. I said, you guys don't worry about it. I'm going to recruit her myself because we probably won't get her. And just recruited the mess out of her for months and started to see that this was a kid that was different, that was mature, that understood what she wanted to accomplish with her as far as basketball was concerned. And I just knew I had to get her to build up the courage to walk out on her own. This kid was offered, her finalists were Maryland, Miami, Florida State, and UCLA. And all of those teams were in the NCAA tournament. And here comes this Owen whatever team and coach saying, hey, come here and build your legacy. But for Maddie, that was enough. She's always been one that wanted to create her own path. And I think that's how we got her. Really glad we did.